INFJs have a dark side that is deep and twisty. Sometimes our weaknesses take over our lives in a way that makes us really hard to deal with. I'm Sarah Kuhn, and I'm on a mission to help you become the best version of yourself, to love yourself right now as you are, to be wholly and unapologetically you, to be you. Let's look at the top 5 weaknesses of INFJs. Number 1, extremely private. INFJs are extremely private people. We have a knack for making people feel comfortable and adapting to the people around us. But that means that we're hiding the real us to make other people feel better. None of my friends really know exactly who I am. Different friends know different parts of me, but there isn't really one person who I can be 100% myself with. Number 2, shutting down. When INFJs get overwhelmed with life or emotions, we have a tendency to just shut down and hide. It takes us a while to process things, sometimes a long time, and we need time and space to be able to do that. Unfortunately, we don't always communicate what we're doing. We're known among our friends to just disappear. It's almost like we fall off the face of the earth. During these times when we're processing our thoughts and our feelings, we just want to be alone, to figure things out for ourselves. Number 3, all or nothing. When we do something, it's usually all or nothing. There is no balance and no in between. We commit ourselves to projects 100%. But this can get us into some serious trouble sometimes, especially when we commit ourselves so much that we forget normal things like eating and sleeping. We can become so obsessed with something that we block everything else out and neglect the things that we really should be doing instead. Number 4, not asking for help. INFJs are capable of using both sides of our brains, the creative side and the logical side. We have a very active imagination and an amazing intuition. We also have a natural ability to figure things out for ourselves, and we're generally really, really good at it. So when we get into a difficult situation, we tend to think that we can figure everything out all by ourselves. A lot of times these situations would end up being a lot easier on us if we would just ask someone else for help. But instead, we tend to bottle things up. We keep them to ourselves and we think we can handle it, we can do it. But it's hard for us to open up because we've been misunderstood for years. So we hold on to all of this thinking that no one will understand us anyway, so why even try? But eventually it gets to be too much for us to hold on to, and there's an explosion. It's inevitable. You know it's gonna happen. They don't happen very often, but when those explosions do happen, they're usually pretty big. Everything we've been holding on to for months and months and months comes out in one massive explosion. And it can be a really scary experience. The good news is it usually only happens once or twice a year. And number 5, we have incredibly high expectations for ourselves and for others. We have incredibly high expectations for ourselves. We are constantly looking for ways to make things better, and we see all of the ways where we can make things better. It's easy for us to let those expectations get out of control, and the result is that we're incredibly hard on ourselves. Not only do we expect a lot of ourselves, but we also expect a lot out of the people around us as well. It's not on the same level as what we expect from ourselves, but it's still high. We compare what they do to what we would have done, and a lot of times we see a huge gap. And the more respect that we have for them, the higher the position that they hold, the more we expect out of them. We look at what we would do in that situation and we don't understand why they're not capable of doing the same thing. There are a lot of weaknesses that INFJs have, but there's also a lot of amazing things about being an INFJ. I want you to know that if you're struggling with any of the things that we talked about in this video, that it's completely fine. You are not alone. It's totally normal for INFJs to experience these things and to feel this way. There's nothing wrong with you. I've been through every single one of them. I know exactly what you're going through, and I want you to know that there is hope. You can improve each one of these things. You're not permanently broken. You will get through whatever it is that you're struggling with. One of my favorite writers is a lady named Glennon Doyle, and she has this saying that I love. She says, life is hard. It's not because you're doing it wrong, it's just hard. But we can do hard things.